All right, so here we are. It's the 6th of January, 2026? The 6th of February. Did I say January? February 6th, 2026, which means I am 48 years old. Do you believe that?
Oh my God! Wow!
I can't even believe it. But this right here was a present from my mama for my 47th. It used to be a bonsai tree. Now it is a very dead bonsai tree. Not surprising to me. Every bonsai tree I've ever had in my life has died almost immediately. So when I received this gift from my mother, I had to laugh because I knew its fate. Fast forward to today, and we are going to give it a new life. That's right. We are going to recycle this bonsai tree, as it's literally a tree and it has the basic shape that I want anyway, for a family tree. That's right, a family tree project. That's what we're going to do. We're going to take this sad, very dead bonsai tree, and we're going to maybe do a little bit airbrush, maybe a little bit of refoliaging it. So yeah, so my plan is, this has literally been sitting here for way longer than I'd care to admit. It's actually quite embarrassing just how long it's been sitting here. But so today we're going to start working on it. And I'm kind of doing things backwards. I'm going to do some refoliaging it before painting. I was thinking maybe paint would probably be better first, and then because this stuff I got from Warm Tree is already kind of colored the way I would want. And what I'm going to do is, I tried a little experiment I found online where you can take some Mod Podge and you dilute it down 1 to 3 parts. So 1 part Mod Podge, 3 parts water, and then a couple drops of soap to break the surface tension in the water to incorporate it into the Mod Podge or whatever and make it a spray glue. So that's my plan, is to kind of coat this and then Salt Bay some of this foliage, little leaves and stuff on top, just to make it look a little fuller and less dead. That's step 1. And then from there, airbrush stuff later on. So yeah, check it out. All right, here we go. Hopefully this goes well. Hopefully it works well. I don't know if it will or not. It'll be a surprise for both of us. This looks like ground up, you know what. I'm not even gonna say what I think it looks like, but it's what it looks like. And we're gonna just try and open this. What in the what? What are you doing? Oh no, it died, didn't it? Okay. All right, well, my gimbal died, so we are now on the tripod. We'll see how this works. So again, some homemade spray glue. We'll see how it works. Wish me luck here. Oh, come on, dude. Don't do this to me. Brand new spray bottle from Walmart. No, don't do this to me. I want my money back. Frickin' Walmart. You're not so great value. Great value. Yeah, whatever, dude. This ain't working. What is going on? Come on! I hate you! I hate you! Well, I guess that's not working, is it? Stay tuned. Okay, off camera, I got this piece of crap working. So let's, thanks Walmart and your great value. Let's see what happens. Spray, 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 spray. Some spray glue all over you. And then sprinkle, 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 tinkle. all over you. Sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. Sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. Yeah, okay. Okay, we're finally getting back to this little project, the family tree project, or what I'm affectionately calling the Bionic Bonsai family tree, because that's exactly, or essentially what it's going to be. It's maybe not exactly, it's not going to be bionic exactly, but sounded good. We're taking this dead bonsai and we're making it into something that looks a little more lifelike and or visually pleasing for our family tree project. Now, as you can see, it looks pretty haggard right now. I'm going to be working on the shape today. You'll see that there's some greenery added, and that was from me doing my little Salt Bay sprinkling of fake leaves on there, and with like some homemade spray glue made out of Mod Podge. But now you'll see there's a whole bunch of stragglers, like just very unkempt looking. I want to make it, a little more round shape. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to be snipping them off and gluing them where I'd like them to be, where I think that they should be, if for a more visually pleasing bionic bonsai. And then eventually we're going to uproot this from its pot and then make another base, homemade base for it. I think will look a little better. And we'll go from there. Okay. So what we're going to be doing, if I can get this camera angle right here, is basically I've got these little snips, and then I've got me some UV resin, which I don't think I added enough to this bottle really. I think I probably need some more. Got my UV light here for the curing of said resin, and that's what we're gonna do. So let's see how it works. I think I'm gonna add some more resin to this bottle first. So I just don't think I put enough in there. And these things, as with most projects, I feel like, especially anything involving glue or silicone or anything, it's always messy, way messier than you want it to be. And I try to be as clean as possible with it and really just not get it everywhere, but it happens. It's still getting everywhere. That's like, what do you do? What do you do? You guys like my little paint booth here that I've never used, that I've had for almost a year now? Yeah, this is how things go. My projects. I've got projects on projects that I don't work on for whatever reason. Maybe just a complete lack of motivation, it seems to be. But here we are. So finally using this with a little turntable. It's kind of cool. Some people might call that a lazy Susan or whatever you want to call it. I don't know. Whatever you want to call it. All right, let's just start doing the thing. The first branch is this big one here I don't like. I think I'm going to trim it back to here. I have to be careful with this though, because it's so dry and brittle. It's so dry and brittle.
Right now I'm acting like this is fun. How am I doing?
You see what happened there. I thought the spray glue would lock this in place a little better, but apparently it did not. So there's that. One chop and you see what happened. This one can't stay. This one's gotta go. Wow, this thing is just falling apart. I was hoping it would be a little more locked in with the spray glue, like I said. Apparently that is not the case. Okay, so you see you've got some low-hanging branches over here, but none over here. I think I'm going to work over here to kind of bush this up, right? The way I'm going to do that, I should use tweezers, I think. These right here. All right. So basically the process is I'm going to grab a branch, see this big fat one, put some resin on it, and cure it in place. I'm thinking maybe right down here. Let's do it. Get the UV light going. That should lock it in place. Should, right? That almost looks unnatural. Shh, don't tell nobody. It seems like my batteries might be low. All right, you get the gist. I'm gonna do a little more of this. We'll be back in a bit. Okay, here we are. I got everything set up. Tree turned out pretty good. I really wanted to put some of those little fairy lights in there, the little LEDs. I don't know if you can see those, but I'm having second thoughts because the way it turned out so well, I don't want to distract it from having some ugly ass lights in there with a wire that you can totally see, because the resin's going to be clear. I'm not going to pigment it. And as you can see, I have my vacuum chamber here set up with the cloche. We're going to go ahead and we're going to do a deep pour. You can only do 4 inches at a time on this deep pour stuff. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to put it in the vacuum chamber to ensure that we don't have any air bubbles. And we're going to have to do this probably, if I had to guess, probably in 3 separate batches to achieve the depth and the amount of resin that we're actually going to use for this. Again, I'm not going to do the fairy lights because, I mean, as much as I wanted to do that, to have it kind of, light up, I don't think there would really be a way that I could do it, even when pigmenting the resin, to hide the wire. And I just didn't think it would look as good. Yes, I could have incorporated the fairy lights within the tree, but the tree itself is so delicate and so fragile because it's been dead for, what, a year now, probably? Yeah. Well, over a year, because I got it for my 47th as a birthday present from my mother. Shout out to my mom. Hey, mom, thanks for the bonsai tree. You had to have known it was going to die almost immediately. I don't know what your thinking was there, but I guess it's the thought that counts, right? Thanks for the present. It is very dead, I assure you, but this is a way that we can preserve it forever. And I did paint it to make it look like it's alive. So there you go. It is now going to be a family tree from my grandmother who requested this. And as we get more family members, she wants me to update and give her a new family tree. So this is what we're doing. And yeah, I hope you like it, Grandma. This is for you. And yeah, I'm going to just stir this. It says to stir it for quite some time. I think 8 minutes total. And then I'm going to vacuum chamber it and dip the tree in there. You'll see how I finally figured out how to do this. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. Hey guys, it has been some days, and let me tell you, it's been a little bit of a ride, a little bit of a learning experience. Yeah, it's here it is. So what we've been doing is layer by layer, we had this thick pour resin that we poured in and had this, picture it inverted, upside down, and everything was glued to the base, right? Inside the vacuum chamber, and layer by layer, we started at the top, which was the bottom, as it was inverted in here, with a bunch of rags, basically, around it to stabilize it. And that worked out fine until I got all the way to the end. As I got to the end, I tried to get it as flush with the top or bottom, however you want to look at it. It was inverted, right? Again, this would have been like the top, and I was pouring the resin in, and I wanted to make sure it made it all the way. Well, as you can see, there's kind of a little bit of a gap right here. And what had happened was it overflowed, especially when I applied the vacuum to the last layer. It overflowed and started seeping out of this seal right here. And it wasn't really, I didn't have this like glued down or anything. But it was a pretty tight seal because this was pressing against the glass with this. But with the vacuum, it broke that seal. And resin just started pouring all over the edges. It made a big old mess. I had to throw away like 30 rags. I had to keep cleaning it and cleaning it and cleaning it because obviously I couldn't have resin on the outside of the glass. A bunch of runs that would have looked stupid, right? So I kept cleaning it and cleaning it and cleaning it. And I thought I had finally averted that disaster. And I set it in the garage and turned the heater on and made sure it was nice and warm so the resin could cure. Because I didn't trust it here in the office, not leaking everywhere, so I moved it out to the garage. But anyway, through the course of all that, as you can see, the glass cloche decided to finally shatter. We made it all the way to the end, and it shattered. So now I have to somehow separate the glass from the resin in order to make it look halfway decent and normal. And the good news is it seems to be flaking off fairly easily. This right here is just the resin itself, and then this is glass. very sharp. So I'm gonna have to very carefully bust this glass and peel it away. So that's where we're at right now. This has been quite the project. I did learn some things. I learned how to use my vacuum chamber. I learned how to use my airbrush booth and my airbrush for the first time. I've only owned it for like a year or more and decided to finally use it on this project because I've been, you know, less than motivated, I'll say. But I mean, I think it's going to look pretty cool when we're all done though. So yeah. And then lastly, when we're all done, we'll have to remake some names and paste them on for the family tree. And then, well, anyway, stay tuned. I will let you know how it goes. So here we are at the workshop, literally at my work, because I'm having to break and shatter this glass off of this damn thing. Pain in my ass, very slow process. And I'm wondering if I'm ever going to get to the result that I'm looking for. This is where we're at. I'm literally hammering the glass away where it's really fully bonded to the resin. This resin is hard as a rock. It's really good stuff as far as I can tell. I'm hoping I can preserve the finish as much as possible so I don't have too much polishing to do after. But, you know, that's the way these things go. It's fighting me tooth and nail now. I wish that cloche would have never broke and it would have just been crystal clear. But, yeah. So that's where I'm at. Stay tuned. Well, this is as far as I've got. It's still not the desired amount of clearness I would like. The top is close, but I didn't really do a lot with the top. But as you can see, it's pretty cloudy and there's still some deep gouges in there from the 40 grit I used initially. The only answer is to sand those out and go through the whole process again, all the way up to 3000 grit. And then finally polishing and correcting, which have all been done here hastily, I'll add, but that's where we are. This is a very hasty job that I did, and if I want perfection, I'm gonna have to do it all over again. I don't know if I want to. It's kind of a pain in my ass. I hate the base here. As you know, if you're watching this video, then it overflowed when it was being poured in and curing and whatnot, so I had to clean it up, and then the glass shattered, yada yada. Well, there's a big gap here, so I'm gonna have to, I think I'm gonna do a layer of caulking there, maybe like black caulking, and then paint this base black, I think is what I'm going to do. Ooh, maybe even flock it. So black caulking with flocking. I think that would look really nice. I'm probably gonna end up sanding it all again because I can't stand the fact that I've gone this far, and I'm just gonna accept less than as perfect as I can get it. So that means it's gonna take probably another week. Who knows? Until I find the motivation to do it. All right, we're back again. I'm gonna start the sanding process on this project, the never-ending bonsai tree project, again. So you can see I've got everything from, we're gonna start at 120 today, work away all the way up to 5,000. Right, and then we're gonna go from that to some polishing, some 3M machine polish, and some Wizards Shine Master at the very end. Now, this was recommended by another YouTuber whose name escapes me, but I'm gonna take his advice. We're gonna try that. He said that's his secret weapon, so that's what we're gonna try. So first 2 steps will be dry. Then by the time we get to 320, it's all wet from there. And then finally polish. Hopefully we can get back to at least what it was before the cloche broke. I just want to get it back to that at least. You can see a very obvious line where the paint, which was water-based, bled into the resin here. And for some reason, an obvious line here too, and I don't know why. I mean, these are the sections I was pouring about two inches deep at a time. But yeah, it is what it is. That's about as good as it's going to get. And yeah, so enjoy the time lapse after this.